reports. In only 5 months in office, Trump has burned through record number of advisors and associates who found themselves in legal, professional, or personal trouble, or even all three. So, I mean, it's really quite incredible. It just shows you the turnover, A, in the White House, and B, why you shouldn't really associate yourself with Trump. I mean, without even digging deeper to find out why this is, just look at how frequently it happens. Like, I mean, look at this. Half of the top aides who came to the White House with Trump in 2017 are gone, many under painful circumstances because they either fell out with the boss or came under some harsh scrutiny that comes with him. Some of the president's longest-serving aides have left with the bruises. His son and his son-in-law have hired lawyers and been interrogated. Even his lawyers have lawyers as they face inquiries of their own. So there still is that problem. Like, everyone is under attack in the Trump administration, which is really quite incredible because, they would never admit this themselves because you got to protect the boss at all counts. And I mean, I think, however conceited and kind of stupid it sounded, I think Jim Comey had a very solid point when it came to Trump is the mob boss of the White House, and I really think it's been proven true, and it's more true every single day. So half of the aides who came to the White House with Trump in 2017 are gone, many under painful circumstances, though. So proximity to Trump has been a crushing experience for many who arrive with stellar careers and independent reputations and end up really losing so much. These are going to pretty much. These are people who are going to have their names forever associated with Trump. And I can't say I blame them because, buddy, you associated your name with Donald Trump. It's your business decision. Sorry. I'm sorry. So let's go through some and laugh about how much they've failed here. So Rex Tillerson ended the world's highest, he ran the world's highest energy company, in the world's largest energy company, ExxonMobil. Chose to associate themselves with Donald Trump. So too bad for you. And buddy, that Russia deal didn't work out for your friends at Exxon. I'm so sorry, bud. I'm so sorry. What you said is a lifetime association with Donald Trump, and the fact that he's just awful in every way. And that's it. That's really all you got. David Shulkin was a respected doctor and high priest of the medical world, may need to get his head checked if he wants to associate himself with Trump. General H.R. McMaster was an admired warrior. So was John Kelly. Jeff Sessions held a safe seat in Congress, so did Tom Price. Now all of them are known for unhappy associations with Trump. And Tom Price is known for really liking to fly private jets. And Jeff Sessions is looking now for his association with Trump and his hatred of weed and also black people. So, what? No. Anyway, so, I mean, the stuff that they write here about the warrior, let's give it a break here. So, I mean, they're old, stuffy generals who Trump's like, hey, I like that. I mean, let's be honest here. There is a reason for all this stuff. So, yeah, Trump expressed outrage on Thursday about the toll exacted on some of the people close to him. Dr. Jackson, the White House physician and rear admiral, who withdrew himself as nominee for Secretary of the Veterans Affairs after accusations of drinking on official trips, and badgering his staff, and is an incredible man who the Democrats were trying to destroy, Trump said of him on Fox and Friends. The president attributed it to the toxic atmosphere of the Capitol, where he warned Jackson, "Did I say welcome to Washington, welcome to the swamp, welcome to the world of politics?" I hope he knows he's been there for 3 presidents. Dude, you got Donald Trump coming in, who's like, "Welcome to the swamp," and Jackson's been there for he's been there for 3 presidents. I sure would hope he knows, or maybe he's been drunk all the time to really take note of anything. But Trump likely lies that said that Mr. Cohen, his longtime lawyer, who paid $130,000 to Stephanie Clifford, the pornographic film actress, known as Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election, now faces a federal investigation, is a great guy who did nothing wrong in that matter, but also said his business is not at all associated with my business. What? Are you kidding? Yeah, but he, that's how you, he pretty much yesterday on the Fox News interview, he used the I don't know the guy defense with Michael Cohen. Like, he knows the guy, and B, you're gonna really use that treatment to someone who could have the potential to bring down your entire presidency and put you in jail. Like, you know how much he knows. Like, come on, what are we doing? So, yeah. So that is the thing. So, and a really interesting quote: "People are not people to him; they are instruments of his ego. And when they serve his ego, they survive. And when they don't, they pass into the night." Tony Schwartz, the ghostwriter of Art of the Deal, said in Trump's first book. Ultimately, the fate of anyone who casts their lot with Trump is you are passing through. I can't think of anybody for whom it's not true. Jack O'Donnell, the former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, another vocal critic of his former boss, said many people have cycled through the Trump world remarkably quickly without leaving much of an impression on Mr. Trump. This is an individual completely lacks compassion and empathy, and therefore recycling people. The recycling of people crashing and burning, it means really nothing to him. O'Donnell said he might he might put on a public frown for the day. He's upset that in his mind the admiral got railroaded out, but Trump really couldn't care less about the admiral. He's just not that motivated. And that one day of indignation was that Fox and Friends interview there for Jackson. The president tapped Dr. Jackson because he had come to like him and was impressed by him, even though he had little management experience to run the government's second largest department. Kind of a walrus mustache, apparently. He looked the part, is pretty much, that's pretty much what he always says. He looked the part. He was something he looked like it. I mean, he wants a secretary. He didn't like Chris Christie because he was too fat, pretty much. That's how his mind works. He's like, I want things just the way they are, and I want things that are, I want my people to look good, and no, they have to be competent. He does not care about competency because he's not really that competent himself. News alert here, people. Yeah. So, yeah, Trump is a transactional person, and many have made transactional decisions to work for him, understanding the risks. For others, it was a calculation that return on investment would be worth it. Indeed, Cohen has attracted an enormous amount of attention over the years. He built business ties because of his affiliation with Trump, but some who have come and gone managed to benefit from their experience in their own way, despite the ordeal. Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, who was mocked in Saturday Night Live and maligned by the media, nonetheless has received a lucrative speaking contract and has a book coming out in July. Tillerson and Gary Cohn, the former national economics advisor, lost power struggles, but both still have hundreds of $millions to console themselves. And friends say no one should feel sorry for them, and I certainly don't. But And the thing that I worry about is really the dangerous media narrative that we kind of fall into is up there, literally, Mr. Tillerson ran the largest company in the world and Gary Cohn, a respected banker. Oh. You guys got millions of dollars. You know how to rip off the American people on your own. You don't need Trump's help for that, especially with the tax cuts you helped pass. You will be fine. You'll be fine. I got news for you, buddy. Yeah. So, then there are some former advisors like Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort, and Rick Gates, who have all been charged with or pleaded guilty to crimes and are looking at potential prison time. There was a worry they might face the same fate. Scott Pruitt, the head of the EPA, whose spending and security practices were spotlighted Thursday at a contentious House hearing, may yet still lose his job. Let's hope so. Other presidents have associates that get caught up in investigations or scandals that were highlighted or magnified because of their closeness. That's happened before. Plenty of advisors, aides, or friends of Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton ultimately had untimely ends to their political career or even went to prison, and critics of both presidents often said they did not seem to care the consequences to those around him. The closer someone gets to a president, the harsher the spotlight can be. Many who seek power and the stature of the White House somehow convince themselves their foibles or misdeeds will not be exposed, only on themselves, or become intoxicated by the new positions of influence and exercise poor judgment. It just happens. It's one of the main things. So, yeah. And we'll end it right now with a little bit of a quote. I think loyalty has always been a one-way street with Trump, and he doesn't care really about the wreckages he engenders as long as he comes out where he wants to be. Ronnie Jackson's reputation has never been in play if the president hadn't put him up for the job. Ronnie was great, but Washington is a snake pit. Anyone engaged with the president, and before that with him as a business person, had to practice self-defense even when they were his allies. All that matters to him is what you say and do in the moment in front of him. He's an transactional person, just who he is. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back in a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's show. We got a good one for you, so keep on. Let's keep on. We pretty much we hope you can stick around. That's all I'm saying. All right. Unfortunately, though, we're going to have to again. I'm very sorry about this. The show is live. We do have these consequences. You know what? Actually, it should be fine. So anyway, we only got 3 minutes left in the show, and I got a story for you. Mick Mulvaney's Wells Fargo settlement lets the bank decide how customers are paid back. This is the crazy thing. The $1 billion Wells Fargo settlement reached by the bank and consumer agency, now controlled by the Trump advisor Mick Mulvaney, has been heralded as evidence by the longtime critic of the CFPB. That might not burn into the ground after all. But a closer look at the details of the consent decree reveals it was set up in such a way that will allow Wells Fargo to set the terms by which defrauded customers can be made whole once again. So it's all the company that, like, what? I really do not know what the point was of this. Like, if you're gonna just let them go off free, if that's the idea. So Wells Fargo literally gets to get out. I mean, it defrauded millions of people. But it gets to decide how they will help again. Like, what? I just don't get it. I do not get it. So, Mick Mulvaney, the CFPB director, is under fire for suggesting to bank executives they need to donate to members of Congress to get heard. Senator Sherrod Brown called for Mulvaney's resignation on Wednesday for his explicit endorsement of pay-to-play politics. Banks and payday lenders have armies of lobbyists at their side. They don't need one more in a big position of power, Brown said, and I added that there. The senator was responding to comments Mulvaney made at the American Bankers Association conference on Tuesday. So, I mean, I guess I didn't think he probably didn't think it was being recorded, but you're in Washington, you're a celebrity in Washington, quote unquote, buddy. So you gotta work. So here's what he said: we had a hierarchy in my office in Congress. If you're a lobbyist who never gives some money, I don't talk to you. If you're a lobbyist who gave us some money, I might talk to you. That's literally the definition of pay to play. So no surprise, he's probably one of the most transactional, corrupt, and awful people in politics. He only is so greedy. He only sees green. He just wants the money, and he doesn't care how he gets it. So, he is really not doing so well at the moment. Mulvaney's remarks are especially jarring, considering his treatment of victims of abuse at financial institutions' hands. Compared to past agency settlements, the new Wells Fargo agreement includes a number of hurdles that appear to make it harder for victims of the bank's misconduct to get their money back. So Wells